Imagine a world where Grace Kelly starred in a Broadway tragedy about paternity doubts, where she juggled over 60 live television appearances while transitioning to the big screen, and where she fell in love with Clark Gable on the set of Magambo, only to be heartbroken by his rejection. Now, picture this: Alfred Hitchcock nurturing Grace's talent, Bing Crosby proposing marriage during the filming of The Country Girl, Prince Rainier courting her with letters, phone calls, and a Christmas visit to the Kelly family in Pennsylvania. These are just a few of the captivating tales from the life of Grace Kelly, an iconic actress who became a beloved princess, all waiting to be uncovered in this captivating video. In late 1949, aspiring actress Grace Kelly was chosen for a lead role in the hit Broadway musical tragedy, The Father. This play revolved around a man's anguish as his wife manipulates him into doubting the paternity of their child. Grace played the role of the daughter and quickly stole the show on its opening night, November 16th, impressing critics with her captivating performance. As 1949 transitioned to 1950, Grace's newfound fame arrived at the perfect time for television's golden age, when live broadcasts became a nightly occurrence. Over the next couple of years, she appeared in over 60 of these shows, including classics like Lights Out, Montgomery Presents, Hallmark Hall of Fame, and Studio One. She even had a brief stint on the famous Ed Sullivan Show. This extensive television experience helped Grace make a smooth transition to the big screen. Her talent was spotted by Edith Van Cleave, a movie industry talent scout for MCA at the time. Van Cleave secured a role for Grace in the film 14 Hours, which, although it didn't perform well financially, provided Grace with an entry point into her cinematic career. Additionally, working on this set introduced her to the already established Hollywood actor Gary Cooper. They later starred together in the 1951 classic Western film, High Noon. In August 1951, Grace Kelly received a telegram from producer Stanley Kramer inviting her to join the filming of High Noon, starring alongside acting legend Gary Cooper. Excited and determined, she quickly traveled to the set and fully immersed herself in her role. During the production, an off-screen romance blossomed between Grace and the much older Gary Cooper. Their significant age difference drew attention, leading to gossip and rumors about their relationship. The Kelly family in Pennsylvania first heard of this from tabloid headlines, prompting Grace's mother to fly out to the film set. Upon arriving in California, Grace's mother aimed to control and monitor her daughter's activities much like she had when Grace lived with her in Germantown. The constant supervision combined with the constant gossip created a challenging environment for the budding romance between Grace and Gary Cooper. Ultimately, these circumstances seemed to have extinguished any spark between them. Despite the personal drama, High Noon was a commercial success, earning approximately $18 million at the box office. Following her role in High Noon, Grace Kelly auditioned for the epic film Magambo in September 1952 and was quickly cast as Linda Nordley, one of the leading female characters. She received a weekly salary of $750 for this role, a respectable amount for a novice actress at that time. The movie centered around a love triangle involving an African big game hunter, played by Clark Gable, and another love interest portrayed by Ava Gardner. During the filming, Grace fell in love with Clark Gable, who was 51 years old at the time. However, Gable, not wishing to engage in a romantic relationship with someone 3 decades younger than him, mostly rejected her advances. This rejection marked the first time Grace had experienced such an emotional letdown from someone she admired. Upon the movie's completion, Grace was seen crying as she said goodbye to Clark Gable at the airport in London before boarding their separate flights back to the United States. When questioned about her tears later on, Grace jokingly claimed they were due to leaving behind beautiful silverware rather than acknowledging the true reason: her unrequited feelings for Clark Gable. The film Magambo served not only as a source of professional growth but also left a personal imprint on Grace Kelly's life, as she had to leave behind more than just valuable possessions. The success of Magambo solidified Grace Kelly's status as a Hollywood star, earning her Look magazine's Best Actress title for the year. After its October 1953 release, the film made over $4.5 million in the United States alone. Following this achievement, renowned director Alfred Hitchcock became interested in working with Grace Kelly. He was developing a movie adaptation of the Broadway play Dial M for Murder, and believed that her unique beauty would be perfect for the film's lead role. Hitchcock explained his interest by stating that an actress like Grace, who possessed true ladylike qualities, added a sense of class to romantic scenes on screen. With less refined actresses, such scenes could easily appear vulgar. Hitchcock proved to be one of the most supportive and nurturing directors Grace had ever worked with. Their collaboration led to a close friendship, and she considered him a great mentor in her acting career. Together, they brought Dial M for Murder to life on screen, showcasing Grace's talent and elegance for millions of moviegoers to appreciate. Unlike other directors who kept their distance and ignored her questions about production details, Alfred Hitchcock took the time to educate Grace Kelly on the filmmaking process. She later recalled that Hitchcock was an approachable mentor who boosted her confidence as an actor. After discussing the film scenes with her throughout the day, he would invite her over for dinner at his home with his wife, Alma. Despite other women like Tippi Hedren reporting less favorable experiences with Hitchcock, Grace remembered him only as a gentleman during their collaboration. Their professional relationship continued to flourish, and Grace starred in several more of his films. In early 1954, Hitchcock began casting for his thriller, Rear Window, which paired Kelly with the already renowned James Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life. In this film, Stewart played Jeff Jeffries, a photographer who spends most of the movie confined to a wheelchair due to a broken leg. He becomes engrossed in observing his neighbors through his camera lens and suspects a murder has taken place. Throughout the narrative, Grace's character Lisa Fremont visits Jeff Jeffries at home, adding intrigue to the storyline. Following the success of Rear Window, Grace Kelly was cast in The Country Girl, where she played Georgie Elgin opposite Bing Crosby's character. In this film, Kelly received top billing for the first time and was the central focus of the story. Her co-star, Bing Crosby, a popular musician and actor, portrayed her husband, an outdated, alcoholic singer. As their on-screen chemistry developed, Grace began to harbor romantic feelings for him, which were reciprocated by Crosby. This marked another instance where Grace showed an affinity for older male co-stars. As Bing Crosby's romantic feelings for Grace deepened, he even proposed marriage. However, Grace was not ready to take on the role of a wife at that time and gently turned him down. Their relationship eventually cooled off, but their on-screen chemistry in The Country Girl still earned them critical acclaim. Grace won an Academy Award for Best Actress and a Golden Globe for her performance. Shortly after receiving these accolades, Grace flew to southern France to star in Alfred Hitchcock's final film featuring her, To Catch a Thief. Her New York friend, Oleg Cassini, joined her on set, and the two grew closer. They would often spend their evenings dining at some of France's finest restaurants and cafes after a day of shooting. As their bond strengthened, Cassini expressed his desire to marry Grace, and much unlike with Crosby, she didn't reject the idea. Instead, the two began a secret engagement known only to them. During her time in southern France with Oleg, Grace was introduced to Monaco for the first time, which would later become an integral part of her life. During her time in Monaco, Grace Kelly admired the stunning gardens near Prince Grimaldi's palace and asked about their ownership. Little did she know, this prince would later become her husband. After wrapping up production on To Catch a Thief with Oleg Cassini, they returned to the United States where Grace continued her successful career in Hollywood. The movie was released in August 1955 and received mixed reviews but remained a commercial success. It even won an Academy Award for cinematography. However, despite her professional achievements, Grace's personal life remained complicated. In an attempt to gain her parents' approval, she invited Oleg Cassini for a weekend visit. Unfortunately, the meeting was disastrous, as her family coldly rejected him and made it clear they had no intention of accepting their relationship. Following her breakup with Oleg Cassini, 25-year-old Grace Kelly remained focused on finding someone new. Her search didn't take long as she crossed paths with Prince Rainier of Monaco during the Cannes Film Festival in 1955. The meeting was orchestrated by Pierre Galanti, the editor of Paris Match magazine, who had concocted a publicity stunt to introduce the famous American actress to Europe's most eligible bachelor. On May 6, 1955, Grace met Prince Rainier at his palace in Monaco and was instantly captivated by him. Despite the presence of paparazzi, she felt an undeniable bond with the prince. Their connection grew stronger as they spent more time together. After meeting Prince Rainier during the Cannes Film Festival, Grace found herself starring in The Swan, a romantic comedy where she played the role of a princess. This role mirrored her real-life situation as Prince Rainier's interest in her grew stronger. He started sending letters and making phone calls to Grace directly. In addition to their personal communication, Prince Rainier's representatives also reached out to Grace's parents. Father Francis Tucker, the prince's religious consul in the Catholic Church, played a crucial role as he happened to know Grace's father well. Having served at a parish near Philadelphia, where the Kelly family resided, he was aware of their traditional values and strong Catholic faith. Prince Rainier's old-world charm, wealth, and compatibility with the Kelly family's beliefs made him an ideal suitor for Grace. Her parents were delighted by the prospective match, further solidifying the bond between Grace and Prince Rainier. Prince Rainier's tour of the United States in December 1955 provided another opportunity for Grace and him to meet. Their Christmas Day encounter was arranged, but Grace was filled with anxiety about the potential marriage proposal. Despite her nerves, she purchased a plane ticket and prepared to face the prince. When Prince Rainier, Father Tucker, and Dr. Donut arrived at the Kelly household on Christmas Day, they were greeted warmly. After some initial conversations, it didn't take long for them all to become comfortable with each other. Grace's family could see how enamored she was with the prince, and they welcomed him into their home. As the evening wore on, Grace's sister Peggy invited the prince and her younger sister over to their house for poker and other card games. This allowed Grace and Prince Rainier to spend more private time together, talking late into the night. After an eventful evening, they returned to the Kelly home and retired to their respective rooms to rest. After their Christmas festivities, Prince Rainier and his entourage spent a few more days with the Kelly family before parting ways on December 26th. On December 27th, Grace joined the prince briefly to return to her film set for High Society. It marked the end of an era in her life as she prepared to leave Hollywood behind and embrace her new role as Princess of Monaco.